And here is Chelsea Fry and Oscar Nunez from the paper to tell you more.
Hi, Studio Tour.
We're here on the lot where we film the paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, the paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on set, it's important that we stay in character.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of working on the lot?
That's good. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious people. I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the tramps.
Speaking of waving, let's wave at a celebrity here on your left-hand side. We have Ted from the Ted films and the series on Peacock. And Ted was created by Seth MacFarlane, the same creator of the animated series Family Guy and American Dad. Back to you, Chelsea Fry Nunez. Oh, also, we have some cool vehicles here on your right-hand side. Possibly picture cars. More on picture cars later, but just so you know, picture cars are any vehicle.
Hey, Justin, you're right. It's been a while. I hope you've been doing well, getting excited for Fan Fest nights and all of the updates that have been announced recently.
Yeah?
Let's try. That's great.
All right, that is the paper streaming on Peacock. On your left-hand side, we're passing by the production bungalows. And this is where our top writers, directors, producers in town come here to work their magic, develop their ideas, and get their scripts into shape. Because before the cast and crew can be assembled inside one of our sound stages, there's a pre-production phase that happens first, and that includes scripting, budgeting, casting, and that's what happens here on your left-hand side. Because there's 3 phases of production. We have pre-production.
Yep, so sad about King Kong. That's exactly why we're on the studio tour today. We're not too far from King Kong, actually, so we're going to jump on and see how it looks like in 2D.
Visual effects. Formatting your film can be available on your screens at home or on the big screen in the theaters. But we also have production companies residing right here in the bungalows. One of them being Mark Platt Productions. That's the same production company that's brought us Wicked, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum. And don't miss out on Wicked for Good, coming to Peacock on March 20th. On your left, we have stages 25 and 26. And these stages look a little different from the other sound stages because there's production offices, dressing rooms in the front, and the sound stages are in the back. Now, these stages are first used for Hairspray Live in 2016, but currently they're being used for a new workplace comedy called St. Dennis Medical, about an overworked,
So it looks like they finally cleared all of the Jumanji set pieces that were blocking off this portion of the tour. So if you've been for the metro area of the studio tour, the tram is now going through this area.
Our metropolitan sets that take up 4 acres of our backlot. And this is where you'll find buildings like hotels, banks, movie theaters, restaurants, hospitals, anything you can find in a major city, small town, anywhere in the world. Like on your right, see that hospital facade. It was made for St. Dennis Medical. Also on your right is Central Park and Brownstone Street. Now, Billie Eilish
Hey
is Central
Jordan,
Park for
we
her
are on
mini
the
musical
studio
for Amazon
tour.
Prime Day.
Jumanji 3 has finished wrapping, so they're finally making their way through the backlot. That area had been closed down for a couple months with the filming of Jumanji 3 with Jack Black and The Rock. Coming up on our left-hand side, we're soon going to be approaching Courthouse Square, which many of you may know from Back to the Future.
And we're headed towards Courthouse Square, that you'll likely recognize as Hill Valley from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Lee Thompson. That building on your left featured the famous clock tower in Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2. It was also the courthouse in the classic film To Kill a Mockingbird. You may also recognize it as the high school in the Ted series, or maybe as Kingston Falls from the movie Gremlins, or maybe in 1940s Los Angeles and Marvel's Agent Carter. I think it's prominently known for Back to the Future.
It was actually the back lot, the courthouse square, that inspired the entire climax of Back to the Future.
I had scenes up at the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
But we're gonna leave Courthouse Square and head into one of the busiest streets that we have here at our metro sets, New York Street, where all your dreams come true. But don't quote me on that. I don't know that for a fact. Now, New York Street is a very popular filming location. Even reality competition shows like American Ninja Warrior has filmed on this very street. And these buildings are over 50 feet tall. The materials used to build our metro sets increase the flexibility for filmmakers. So what looks like what could be brick or stone is actually hard plastic and plywood, which can easily be changed out from production to production, which offers a lot of flexibility for filmmakers. Now, right now, New York Street might look a little bit of a ghost town, but that is the job for production design. They really set the scene. So while we're in New York Street, think of a major city, and what would you do, what would you add to make it look like that major city? For example, how would you make this street look like downtown LA? Maybe you'll add metered parking or lack of parking, one-way streets. If you want to be really obvious to your audience that it's downtown LA, you might add an exterior of the Grand Central Market. But New York Street is also where you can find my co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
All right, we are now headed up to King Kong to check out how it looks now that they've removed the 3D and it is only available in the 2D format.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up.
This is the Universal Studios
tour. To me, Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and
good to know, Justin. All right, so we are going to film. Hopefully the connection stays strong inside of the attraction, but we are now approaching King Kong 2D.
We're about to return to Skull Island.
All right, so remember to remain seated, arms and legs in the vehicle at all times. Secure your personal belongings. Always hold on while the tram is in motion.
An island hidden in fog.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years.
A wall 100 foot high.
Why aren't they built the wall?
And here we go.
All right, everyone, off we go to Skull Island. I would recommend no flash photography because we don't want to alarm the animals here at Skull Island. Once again, keep a lookout for your personal belongings. Always hold on while the tram is in motion. And away we go.
Wow, this is actually really crisp and clear.
good catch. Excellent timing on your part. Also, thanks to our driver, Bob. He's out of here in one piece.
All right, so we just finished King Kong 360 2D. I have to say it was really, really sharp and crisp and clear, which was my main concern when I learned that they got rid of the 3D portion, but it looks great. The only thing I did notice, Justin mentioned it here, they did change the video intro by Peter Jackson.
Designed by Peter Jackson and the team out west.
Also, we didn't get the water effects during it, but that happens occasionally during the tour, so I don't know that that's necessarily because of the lack of 3D now. And also the tram, it didn't do some of the drops and movements that we're used to. Again, I'm not sure if that's because of the new 2D format or if it's just a technical issue for today. But as someone who tends to get a headache with 3D videos and wearing 3D glasses, I'm actually glad that it's 2D and, again, really crisp and sharp.
In recent years, they won for their work on Avatar, The Way of Water. They also worked on Avatar, Fire and Ash, and we have the Oscars this weekend, so we'll see who went for visual effects. But we're entering our metropolitan sets. Again, we're gonna get another angle here. We're entering London Square as we speak. But once again, wonderful about the studio tour is we do a lot of traveling in very little time.
Exactly, yeah, Justin, it feels like a soft opening.
Facades and practical sets. A facade is the fronts and sides of a building. We just build what the camera will see and film the outsides of those buildings. Or practical sets, when you're able to film on the inside of the building as well as the outside. We have mostly facades here at our Metro sets, but I'll make sure I point out an example of a practical set during our tour today. On your right-hand side, we have this cool wall. And I say it's cool because it's kind of an optical illusion. Because to our eye right now, it looks two-dimensional. On screen, it looks three-dimensional due to the lighting and shadows of the image on that wall. And we can use that wall to our disposal. For example, if we wanted to use as a
Yep, Justin, I totally agree. A lot of times I sit in either car 3 or car 4, and you're right, sometimes car 4 doesn't have all of the effects.
At one time, Universal Studios was known as the Monster Making Studios, and these classic monster movies are very helpful to the studios during the Great Depression because they were so affordable to make and they generated a lot of revenue. Now, coming up on your left, you're going to see a big V right in front of Soundstage 30, and that is where the singing competition, The Voice, films. And you may know that Reba McEntire was one of the coaches this past season of The Voice. And she's also the star of the show, Happy's Place, which films on the lot, and the soundstage is coming up on your left. It's another show you can find streaming on Peacock.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire, and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on Universal Live. Now, unlike most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to taping in front of a live studio audience. And let me tell you, every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you at Happy's Place. Yoo-hoo! Phone's starting to sweat. The men are the ones that's supposed to ask the women out. That hasn't been true for 30 years. I haven't dated in 30
All right, so it looks like we're skipping Little Europe today
on NBC and Peacock.
and making our way straight into Earthquake.
We call Soundstage 50. And you may know that we closed the Earthquake attraction that stood here in the lot for decades. So don't worry, because we still made way for this new, unrivaled, state-of-the-art, 2-level soundstage. And I thought it'd still be fun to do a little soundstage visit so everyone on board can see what it looks like when they're getting ready to film. So as we enter, just take a look around, take some guesses of what could be filming here. But as always, for your safety, remember to remain seated, arms and legs in the vehicle at all times, secure your personal belongings, and always hold on while the tram is in motion. So far, it looks like we're in this vibrant blue subway station. On your left, I do see some lighting set up right in front of those ticket machines over there, so they might be prepping to pull something out of all those machines next. And on your right, I see a welcome to San Francisco sign. So it seems like the setting here is a subway station here in San Francisco. On your left in the corner here, I see a little bit of wardrobe. And not a treacherous place on the disaster built earthquake about the 70s, about Thanksgiving time. And of course, we feel like they were terrifying for them during Christmas time of that year. But production delays kept on happening. But eventually, people were able to visit Amity Island for summer vacation, which just so happens to be our next destination. Now, don't worry about any rumors you may have heard about a great white shark, okay? Because we have our best police divers out there right now making sure everything is safe. Don't you worry. But you know, just in case, for your safety, remember to remain seated, arms and legs in the vehicle at all times. And coming up on your left-hand side, you're going to see the famous, iconic Amity Island billboard. And it was, actually, everyone, when you see this billboard, don't let it scare you away, okay? It looks like someone took creative expression with it. It's fine, we're fine, everything is fine. And we're here. And it looks like they caught a shark, which is kind of good news. Because what are the chances of multiple great white sharks hanging in one location together? Right. Everyone, it looks like we have a little visitor, but it's okay, because one of our police divers is out there as we speak. Hey, George, you got this, right? He's got this. Typical day at the office for George. Right, George? George? George is taking a much-needed meal break, everyone, and he enjoys an occasional jelly donut from time to time, which explains the red. So we're going to hang out over here, where we have a nice view of everything. You see the souvenir shots from across the way. It looks like we have Janine's treasure box over there. There's probably some cool stuff in there. It looks like we have a little marine supply store in case you need some marine supplies. And also, the pier's moving by itself. It's probably just one of those new high-tech piers that moves on its own for whatever reason. Okay. If you happen to have chocolate, marshmallows, graham crackers, we can make a few s'mores and really kind of turn this day around. Apologies, it seems like we just keep going from one disaster to another. Second thing, I don't know who's screaming car 3, but I was in 2 intense. But don't worry, that was just our shark Bruce, modeled and named after the shark Bruce in the summer blockbuster Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done.
All right, that's enough of that. We have left Amity Island, but we're here in Old Mexico, where it sounds like there's some rain in the forecast. So just remember to remain seated, arms and legs in the vehicle at all times. But when filming rain, we can't rely on Mother Nature to have rainfall on cue, so we have to create it. And we use the advanced technology of sprinklers to sprout the water into the air instead of fall on the ground naturally. Lighting helps capture the water by illuminating the rain, and sound for thunder is added out for filming and post-production. And when you type all of those things together, it creates the perfect setting for rain. But I think that's enough. We got things to do. Can we get a cut on the water, please? Yeah, no more water. We gotta keep this tour later. No, I said no more water, not pour more water. Oh, so like you just, whoa. I mean, it's fine. We're fine, everyone. Actually, this is a little presentation for a new movie we're producing. It's called Too Blood, Too Furious. I'm just kidding. This Flash Flood is a paid actor Many are recognizable films like Big Fat Liars starring Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frankie Muniz. Water is recycled and released in large tanks to the top of the hill.
And that will do it for today's live. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. It was super interesting seeing the new King Kong 360. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Very dangerous museum. But oh no.